Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Frankie Vlog by Frankie Soir. This is episode 3 Redux. The reason why it's a Redux is because I already posted an episode 3 a couple of months ago, but that episode didn't get much interest from anyone. So a few days after I put it up online, I knew that eventually I'll be up to Redux that episode sometime down the road. Before and even after the debacle of episode 3, I had asked myself a lot of questions regarding how I should position my vlog. I had shot many different episodes, including critiques on movie I saw, my favorite Korean restaurants in Montreal, insight on movie production, personal development, etc, but none of them gave me entire satisfaction. Despite putting my vlogging endeavor to the side, for some reason, I still had an itch to keep the episode going. I remember that before launching my vlog channel, I hesitated a lot because there were several big subjects that I wanted to cover, but the problem was they had nothing to do with each other. Thinking about it, I finally realized that the reason why I wanted to cover all these different subjects all at once was because I wanted to share with you the observations, the lessons I've learned, the principles I've discovered, and sometimes the techniques I created through each experience. Now that I was finally able to find the personal outcome I was looking for to make that vlog, let's get this episode started. In this episode, I will tell you what happened over the past weeks, I will give you some updates on my next feature film project, and I will share with you the lesson that I've learned over these events. So as you may know, I've been in discussion for several months now for my first animated feature film as a director and writer. It's a project that I've created myself and that I've been officially pitching since March 2018. In June 2018, I partnered with the CG Studio and a local producer here in Montreal while I was still looking for potential investors to finance the movie. Since big discussions were ongoing on the financial part, I decided to hire an artist to work on the visual development of the movie, and I decided to start writing the script of the movie. Last week, I finally delivered the first version of the script to our Canadian partner, and we had a meeting to hear their notes. To be quite honest with you, I went to that meeting with mixed expectation. First of all, as an artist, you tend to feel misunderstood, and you always feel like no one knows better than you what's the best for your project. But on the other hand, since I really wanted to get some momentum going for my movie, I rushed to deliver a draft in a record time. Therefore, I knew the draft would be far from being perfect, but still, it had to be good enough to get a constructive conversation started. To my surprise, the meeting went extremely well. The Canadian producer came in very well prepared, he had worked diligently on very intelligent notes, and we talked over 2 hours on all the different adjustments that we needed to make, and at the end of the meeting, the producer was so excited that we even talked about getting something started in March. After the meeting, I walked out of the studio and headed out for lunch. And as I was eating my meal, I circled back to several key moments when I tried to start my career as a director, but had failed. I tried to figure out what it was that I did different this time that helped me make so much progress. And here's what I came up with. When I first tried to get my career as a director started, I had that vision. I had that vision of movies that I wanted to make, how I wanted to direct them, and who I wanted to work with, and so forth. In order to make that vision come true, I kind of knew what the path was, but in my mind, that path looked too dangerous, too long, too uncertain, and too risky. And also, to be quite honest with you, I was very arrogant and very cocky, and I thought I was intelligent enough to find my way around that path. In consequence to that wrong mindset, instead of moving forward and walking down that straight line, I literally spent years trying to outsmart the system. But the reality was, I was scared to make the jump. So what did I do different this time to make it this far? Well, 2.5 years ago, I left my ex-wife. I quit my job as a vice president in a big animation company in Los Angeles. Then I went back to my parents, sleeping on their couch for 7 months, and started back from scratch. Although I did some consulting gigs very recently, I basically didn't collect a single paycheck for over 2 years, and I didn't work for anyone but me. And you know what? I had my moments of doubt, but this time I never stopped moving forward. I never looked around and I never went back. Now, I'm not suggesting by any means that you do it too. I'm just trying to tell you that whether it's a mountain that you're trying to climb or a treasure that you're trying to get under the sea, before getting started, the number one reason you get scared to get started is because you ask yourself about resources. What if I run short on oxygen? I'm going to die. So if you're intelligent, you don't get started until you get properly prepared, right? So yes, preparation absolutely matters. But let me tell you something about what I found out recently. Once you really get started and once you make it past the first 2/3 of the way, you don't care about resources anymore. You don't care about plan B. You've been focused and moving forward for so long that you'd rather die than turn back. And that's what I did different this time. I got prepared, I got started, and I didn't want to feel like getting started. I kept pushing, and even though I could see my savings vanishing from my bank account, I just never ever looked around or turned back. I hope you liked that episode. I want to give 2 quick shout outs. First one, to all the person that reach out to me via private messages to share their struggles, ask for advices, send me thank you messages for my episode. I'd like to thank you back. You guys are the reason I decided to keep this vlog thing alive. On the other side, I would also like to congratulate you on everything you already accomplished despite all the struggles and all the hardships. And I want to encourage you to keep moving forward to that big next step in your life. Second, this episode was powered by Mizu Studio. Mizu Studio is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym here in Montreal, Canada, located in the St. Henry area. It's operated by Val and his wife Jania. It's a non-affiliated gym, which means that you can stay with your head instructor in your gym and still come at Mizu for extra round of practice or lessons with guest instructors. We had world-class athletes such as Alex Eklund from Masters Kaya New York, Pat Baudouin, who's Canada's first Kyotera black belt, and more recently, Oliver Taza, one of the top rising submission grappler from TriStar and DDS. Val is a black belt in Kosen Judo and recently promoted to brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's a very close friend and the most dedicated BJJ person I've ever seen. Mizu Studio got to sponsor this episode not because I asked for it or gave me money for it. It's basically just because Val saw my past episode and was kind enough to give me a Snowball Ice microphone in order to improve my production value. So thank you everyone. See you on the next episode. Come train Jiu-Jitsu with me either at Mizu Studio or at Waza Dojo, and until then, enjoy your wonderful end of the year season.